came out of the bathroom 20 minutes later, she looked stunning. Her dark brown hair shone beautifully, and her blue dress matched perfectly with the pretty fit I knew was underneath. More than once I had to admit myself. In my previous life, I had a full personal life and 3 kids to show for it. Desire for years. I had tried looking online for some spark, but it only left me feeling worse. I just had no interest. But over the past month, Victoria's feelings for me became very clear. I could feel something starting to wake up in me, something I vaguely remembered but wasn't sure how to handle. In my mind, it made sense. Since I got out, Victoria had become my closest friend. She was always there for me, and when she told me in Queensland that she was falling out, but deep down, I knew I was starting to feel the same way. Worried she might be after my money, but she had no clue about my true worth, and I thought she must own it was more than just a little. Then again, I knew she was doing well herself as a successful lawyer. I remembered how she had confidently handled my sister at the airport. She could have tried to close the distance between us, but she didn't. Instead, she focused on protecting me. I also saw after my breakdown earlier while talking to the bus stops, it didn't bother her that they saw her holding me. When I was crying hard, I could feel Victoria's warmth around me. All I felt was love and worry. Then, as I watched her get ready that evening, I realized her makeup and pretty outfit all for me. She was gently coaxing me out of my shell step by step, and I felt even more love for her because of it. Love. We sat with Terrence and Constance at the restaurant enjoying a delicious meal. I had a tasty Angus steak with all the sides, plus a glass of wine that matched perfectly. I watched Victoria as she laughed at a story Constance told about the time her son accidentally made a mess on Terrence's expensive suit, while Jada felt my gaze and looked back at me, still smiling. I understood then. It was love I felt for her. It wasn't just attraction or a sudden infatuation like I had felt before. This love had grown slowly. Our connection was not just about looks, but about supporting each other emotionally. We had both been hurt, and while she helped me heal, we fell in love. I loved this woman who was looking at me now. Our eyes met, and time seemed to stop for a moment at the table. "You okay, buddy?" Terrence asked, noticing I seemed lost in thought. My friends were used to me so. "You have never demanded anything from me. You have never yelled or walked away during my hardest times. I felt this for a while, but now I can say it. I love you." With that, she almost jumped into my arms, her tears smudging her makeup. A moment later, Constance came over with tissues. Victoria thanked her as she dried her eyes, and Terrence just smiled widely when Constance suggested a trip to the ladies' room to fix our makeup a little later. Victoria shook her head. "I'm not going anywhere. My man just told me he loves me." She looked at me and said again, "I'm not going anywhere." After that, Victoria leaned in closer to me, her hand or arm always touching me for the rest of the night. When dessert came, we ordered a few different things and shared them using the same fork. Later that evening, we went back to my hotel room and got ready for bed. I felt nervous but excited about what was coming next as Victoria told me we would stay together in the same bed. For the first time in years, I felt a strong rush of feelings. Victoria. I smiled as I felt Mike wait beside me as I pulled him onto the bed. I loved being near him. I'm happy and surprised at all the warm feelings we shared. "Yes," I said softly. A moment washed over us. We continued to enjoy each other's presence, sharing tender touches that made my heart race. I noticed the scars on his back, signs of his tough past. They were no longer fresh wounds but reminders of what he had been through. Time was helping them heal, and while the past would always be part of them, it could slowly fade away. I leaned closer to Mike, who looked at me with eagerness. I had waited for this moment for months. I understood he wanted me to open up to him. I knew he cared about making me happy, but I wanted him to feel my care too. So I decided to change things up a bit, knowing this was a big step for both of us. I noticed that Mike had a nice even tan with no lines from the beach. That made me smile, thinking about how we would enjoy ourselves more when we got back to his place. Right now, I focused on the man in front of me. He was a bit nervous, but I wanted him to know he didn't need to worry. "I'm sorry with that. I'm here to help rewrite that for you, using simpler language and adjusting content to keep it appropriate. Here's a revised version." I felt excitement rush through me, my body alive with energy. I wanted to keep the moment going. For a short time, he seemed to relax, but then he was ready again. He looked into my eyes, asking, "Are you sure?" I nodded, feeling warm inside. Yes, please be with me, I said softly. He slowly began to come closer. I remembered my past experiences and how sometimes it hurt. But with him, it felt perfect. I felt so happy, like I could melt away with joy. My thoughts were lost in the bliss of it all. His gaze was filled with emotion, and I felt the love between us grow stronger. As we shared a special moment, we both collapsed in a heap. At one point, I think I lost track of time for a few seconds because the feeling was so wonderful. When I came back to my senses, I love you, he whispered softly in my ear as we lay there, feeling peaceful and happy. I love you too, I replied, giving him a gentle kiss as we drifted off together. Like, in the morning, I woke up to a feeling I never expected again. A lovely woman cuddled against me. Good morning, she said with a grin. Good view. Good morning, beautiful, I replied. And yes, this is one of the best views I've in years. She smiled and playfully got up to go to the bathroom. We had to pull the sheets away from the night before, and she laughed as she did. Mike, last night made me feel so cherished and loved. It was wonderful, I said, stepping under the warm water and closing my eyes. A moment later, I heard the toilet flush, and suddenly, Victoria's arms were around me. She joined me in the shower. Wonderful? She teased. Just wonderful. I'll have you know that was the best night of my life, she said. She continued. The man I have liked for so long takes me out for a special night, tells me he loves me, and then we share an unforgettable moment before I get to sleep in his arms. She giggled. I laughed. Okay, I said. It was amazing and thank you, I added, turning to her. She let out a happy yelp of surprise. Mike, she exclaimed. I felt truly